All right, let's do this, guys. What is up, guys? G here. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be working on a watch list for next week. Hope you guys are having a great channel. Oh, shoot. What is that? The echo in the background. Well, anyway, sorry about that. What did I say? Oh, we're going to be working on a watch list today. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday, a good weekend. Want to take a look at a few stocks that have earnings next week. Also a couple events for the calendar, and then kind of see and create a small watch list for a couple things. So quickly just glancing at this, you can already see GameStop is going to have earnings on Wednesday, so that's definitely going to be interesting. Dave & Buster's could be possibly an important one. Costco, everything big is going to be on the week on Thursday after close. I think I really like Chewy and Costco. Maybe I should cut that back to this. Let's do Costco and Chewy and maybe Broadcom. It's like a $500 stock, so I don't even want to look at it. And then Lulu and Docu might be interesting. So definitely big days on Thursday for earnings if you guys are interested in playing those. And then I was quickly noticing from the rest of the week, I think Dave & Buster's might be the only other one. And I think that is it. So GitLab reports after they have earnings, and I was looking at their balance sheet and stuff. It could be a play. They don't have any debt, which is one thing I like. They have nice, decent cash on their balance sheet, but it might just not move. And it's a little overvalued, but it is a software stock, so that one's going to be hard to play, honestly. I'm definitely interested in GameStop and Academy Sports. So these two are basically retails. And then this one's definitely like a meme, but they do have decent earnings sometimes. And I was looking at their chart, a lot of sideways movement, so possibly something to look into. Costco, Lulu, and Dogu and Chewy. I think Chewy puts, but we'll get into that in a bit. If you guys have any questions or tickers you guys want me to look at, put them in the comments. And if you guys don't mind, just hit the like button. It helps out my channel a bunch. But let's first talk about SPY. I think, what was it, on Thursday, we talked about the non-farms payrolls and basically how we had a day of sideways, which we kind of expected, and then we were expecting either a move up to 412 or down to, low 400s, depending on those non-farm payrolls, and we ended up opening a little under our target there, 402. Rest of the day, I think we just kind of chopped or melted up, went up. At least towards the second half of the day. So gap down, and then we just naturally gravitated back to fill this gap right here. So we're still underneath like this trend line that everybody's talking about. And the main thing that I'm leaning bullish for next week is we don't really have any economic data coming out. So this is the chart or the calendar for next week, December 5th, Monday. And the biggest thing is ISM, non-manufacturing employment. Diesel PMI, and yeah, both of these are something towards the one of the things that to look into. But the rest of the week, we don't really have anything like significant. We have crude inventories, but don't really care. Not towards the end of the week is when things, come out, and we can definitely get some shift in momentum. Initial jobless claims will be big, and then the core PPI and stuff, right? So Michigan inflation expectations, PPI month over month. So Friday and Thursday, I think, is where we start getting a little more dicey, but everything in between seems to be more no event kind of market. And honestly, if we can't get dropped, or if we don't really the non-farms payrolls didn't, keep us down, I think the rest of the week should be okay for us. But just kind of take everything day by day. Anyway, I think the first play I was looking or interested in playing, and this is one I mentioned on Twitter. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, definitely consider that. It's I can plug that in really quick. You can just follow me there. I was talking about DraftKings. I think that's my #1 play for next week. I have some calls on it. I think this one can definitely be a big play for next week. I don't know if there'll be data or anything over the weekend for betting or sports betting numbers, since it is the first week of December. Maybe we get some data. But just, this is and I post this stuff on Twitter, so you guys feel free to follow me on there. But basically, what I like about this one, and we can basically pull it up now, is we've been consolidating. We've been going sideways for a while. This is on the 1 hour, but even on the daily, we've been consolidating for like almost 2 weeks. Let me, how many days is this? Since early November, we've been just in this 14 to 15 and a half dollar range. So you can see normally when we do that for a while, we get, I mean, right here, we were consolidating for like 5 days, followed by a big move, right? So similar here, 4 or 5 days consolidation, followed by a big move. And just from a bigger time picture, right, we've kind of in this descending channel, right? So we could fall and break. Oh, that's too much. We could get rejected here and fall back down. So this one you can play either way. I'm trying to lean more bullish because gambling and betting is a little recession proof. I think people with money are going to still have money and they're going to continue to bet. I mean, for example, the stock market is something that a lot of people are gambling in, right? We play in options and stuff. So people can just move over to the sports betting and do the same thing, right? So there's like a lot of wealthy people that are going to continue to pump this stock or bring in revenue for this stock. So that's what I'm looking for. Hopefully we get some data on Monday or something. Bullish momentum. MACD is crossing the midpoint, so we are technically bullish. So everything looks really good for this one. And like I said, we have had a good time of consolidation, pretty good, about a half a month almost, I would say. And I would be expecting a move here early next week, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, very exciting for this one. I didn't see any big stuff on the. So we're going to be using Unusual Wealth, by the way, and I have the link there provided for you guys, but I didn't see anything big on options. There was the December 2nd, which gave me a good leading indicator that we could be, bullish Friday, and that's why I got a position. I can actually show you guys that really quick. Let me do that. I saw a lot of volume come in for it, and like early morning too. It was like 8:30 or something. There was the $15 and a half for that same day. I can pull those up. They had insane volume, and they had like 15,000 like near the first half hour. And so I thought we were trading around 15 at that time. So that was one thing that really just stood out to me. And so I wanted to follow up with DraftKings. And I really just liked the optimism going into it for the weekend. So that was one of the indicators that got me interested in the play. Obviously, these expired worthless because we closed like a penny or two underneath the expiration. But it was still a good indicator for me. Going into next week, we do have some more some high volume here, 15s. These are the interesting ones, 7.6 thousand volume and the $16 calls. And I actually I bought the 12 16s. I bought these because these look interesting. The bid is bearish, so that looks bearish because maybe they got filled near the bid and not the ask, so that could be tagged as bearish. But I do like the volume coming in. And then there's 19s, the 19 and a halves, which have huge volume. So to the downside, don't really see too much open interest or any volume that day. Especially on the red day, you would expect to see more volume. But none of that volume was really there. You saw the 15s, but nothing out the money, right? So that was one bullish thing for me. And yeah, these are definitely big, the 19 and a halves. And then for the 23rds, again, not much volume, pretty stagnant for those. But yeah, I do like DraftKings going into next week. I expect a breakout or a breakdown eventually. And then that's going to be a big play to watch. So this is actually my picks from a few days ago. We're just going to leave those on there to jog my memory. But the first one I like is going to be DraftKings. So I like that one. You can also play technically. Oh, we can talk about the earnings plays too, actually, if you guys want. Is there any ones on here that you guys are interested in? If you guys are, let me know and we'll look at those first. But I think Chewy will be the first one that I like. Just because they are actually trading above their last earnings. I think the last time I looked at this. Yeah, so we were trading here at $37, $38, let's just say $37 to $40. And we gapped down. They beat earnings on the earnings per share, missed on revenue. So that means, there's not enough demand. Maybe they're not getting enough product out there sold or delivered. Earnings per share, that just means they're doing good on their execution as far as like cash burn and all that. So right now we are actually trading above this level, and that's why I want to play this one to the downside. It does look bullish right now, and it continues to see more upside momentum. It doesn't report till Thursday, so I'm going to see if we can get up to $50 maybe, possibly. So in the short term, it could continue going up, but towards maybe Wednesday or Thursday, I would possibly be looking to maybe get a small position in puts. For the expected move for this one, we've got, I can actually pull that up really quick. So we'll go to Unusual Whales earnings, and then we're going to type in the ticker Chewy. Take a look at this one, 13.6, and we're going to see 13.6 move expected. Let's just be conservative and say from here, 13.6, so maybe down to 40, so a $4, about a $5 move to the downside, and then to the upside, maybe a $4 or $5 move, I would expect. 13, almost 14%. So yeah, about up to 50. So that is what we're looking at going into earnings. Again, the pattern looks pretty bullish. Let's see if we can find anything with the trend line's bullish, and then the resistance is probably going to come around this level here, about 47. We've got some resistance here, and actually more apparent, the resistance is up here at 51, almost $52. So we've got a little bit more upside before we get some resistance, and then the final resistance is going to be up here. To the downside, we've still got this ascending support, which is keeping us bullish, but once the earnings hit, anything can happen, and so we just gotta be patient in the short term. But yeah, actually this looks bullish here. We've got some sort of cup and handle maybe forming, so we could eventually get that retouch, right, to form that entire cup. The handle, I'm sorry, this is not the handle. This would probably be the cup here, all the way up here. So I would expect us probably to go up to 50 if I had to be a betting man. But I'm gonna wait for earnings to, I mean, you could play this going into earnings and sell before earnings and then switch. I mean, that could be definitely a play. So that's gonna be the first one, I think. Chewy towards the end of Thursday close. What's the other ones? GameStop is gonna be interesting. Let me see if we find any option stuff on our data flow platform here really quick. And we're gonna go reset, apply one of my filters that I like. We're gonna do 32G, and then we're gonna, oh shit, Chewy. Yeah, that Argentina game is over. Bearish, there's puts in here, bearish puts. These are for the 1209 put debit spreads, which is actually a bearish spread or put credit spread. Okay, so they're definitely trying to take advantage of the what we call it, the premium IV crash on this. It looks like 39s and 43 puts. That's if they're either buying and selling one of these, or it could be they're just straight up buying these, the 39 and the 50, in the 39.50 and the 43.50s. Open interest on this is 2. So this is the big one, the 43s, because they have low open interest, big volume. So these are most likely being opened. It could be they're closing the 39s. So yeah, I would expect a continuation going into 50, maybe close to $50. You can see there's actually some calls coming in for 47s, and this looks to be related here. The 47s and 50s looks to be related. So yeah, they've got 47s here. They're buying up a lot of these calls right now. Long condor, short call condor. Okay. So yeah, it kind of looks towards the end of the day. We've got spreads coming in for the put side, and then we're getting call spread condors to the $50 range. Let's take advantage of this platform real quick and look at the hot chains actually. Let's go here and go to live hot chains ticker. We're gonna set this thing to show us hide ETFs, high open volume, open interest, show both calls and puts. Let's remove any filters for volume and volume open. Let's just show the short expiration contracts, and we can select all of them and exclude this week's expiration, so the ones that just expired. And let's look at where all the premiums been going on Friday. So most of the premiums going for those 43s and a halves and those 39s, about almost 400,000. These are all bearish, which means they are buying these, right? Because they came on the gas. So this is technically expecting downside. And honestly, it looks like The open interest here got moved over to the open interest and the 43s. So I think initially they had maybe 39.5s, and what they did is they maybe closed the 39.5s and they opened up the 43s.5s. That's my initial thoughts there. 47, 45s, these have pretty low open interest, at least the 47. So it looks like they're buying 47 calls. We're currently under 45, so they're expecting a little more upside. And then we also have the 50s. Don't forget about those. Okay, 30s. These are bullish, so it looks like they're probably just collecting premium here. Yeah, because I wouldn't expect a a $30 move. That would be a $14 move to the downside. So, I guess on the technicals and stuff, I would expect us to retouch. What is this? $47, $48, and then go up to about 51, 52, possibly. And then we just gotta be patient with this one, I would say. So let's add that one to our watch list. DraftKings is a beautiful play, by the way. We've talked about that one, but Chewy, DraftKings, I think those look good, pretty good so far. Let's take a look back at the most anticipated earnings. And if you guys have any, you guys want me to cover it first, let me know. But Chewy, we took a look at that one pretty quick. I think we've got a good decision there. I am a little biased on it, but I think some of those numbers look good to me. Should we take a look at GameStop or Academy, Costco? These three are going to be nice to play, and then these are possible. I would honestly, just from initial things, I want to get puts on DocuSign. Well, I haven't looked at the chart, but I want to get puts on it because the last time I saw DocuSign, I think they have like a huge balance sheet where they have a lot of debt. Maybe that's something I should pull up really quick. Yeah, let's pull that up. We're going to go here really quick. And actually, let me quickly look at Chewy's just to make sure they have good cash or put or debt. So Chewy has 606 million total debts, a little under their cash equivalents, so they can technically cover their debt. So that's good. Price to sales, there seem to be relatively cheap price to sales. So they bring in 9 billion and they're worth 18 billion. So bringing in about 2. Or they're bringing half is what I'm saying. Price to sales about 2. Yeah. Let me quickly look at balance sheet and quickly see if they have any long-term debt. Long-term debts here, short-term. Where's the current liabilities? Current liabilities, I think we're gonna have to go to quarterly. All right, long-term debt is 456 million. And where's the current account? There should be short-term debt, I believe. Current assets, current inventory. Death Grow has gone up, actually. They've been taking cash out as whatever it is, maybe stock offerings or something. Where is the short-term debt? I thought there was a short-term debt. There's one that's due within a year. There was another one I was looking at, which was, what was it? Play. Let me see. For Play, there was like current debt. See, there's this current debt, and that's basically debt that's due within a year. But I don't see this category. This category is underneath accountables. Okay. Let me go back. Current debt. Where is it at? Accountables. It doesn't show it. Okay, so they're not showing us. Long-term debts here. Long-term liabilities. Total debt is right here. So this total amount of liabilities includes both current and long-term debt. Current. Where is current debt? Here is it. Is it here? No. Current assets. Cash growth, receivables, inventory, other current assets. They don't have any debt that's due under a year, I think. I guess is what it's showing. Yeah, it's not showing us anything under a year. Or maybe I'm skipping it. Long-term debt, but I mean, long-term debt wouldn't be due in a year, so I guess the debt doesn't matter too much for Chewy. Okay. Oh yeah, we're talking about DocuSign, so let's go to DocuSign. I think DocuSign, I just didn't like their statistics, so going down here, They have 900 million total debt. Is this DocuSign? Okay, yeah. Okay, it doesn't look that bad. There was one that had a lot of debt and no cash. Okay, this isn't too bad though. Let's just look at the short-term debt. Quarterly current debt 43 million. So they don't have any short-term debt. This is right within a year, so they can pay off that and continue to grow. The thing with DocuSign though is Adobe and Google and some of these other big names are taking away some of their market share. They were first on the market, like they're quick to get this e-signature stuff, but just Microsoft and a lot of these other companies are picking up on the idea and just taking it over, right? So I used to be very bullish on DocuSign, but just Adobe is such a strong company. I don't really see this one. I mean, I think they could get acquired, but why get acquired when you can just build a better platform, right? So now they're technically trading back at the 2019 levels. They did beat, I mean, I guess since the balance sheet's not too bad, we could play this to the upside. What do you guys think? Maybe play this one to the upside. Looks like we have a big downtrend that we haven't been able to get outside of. Let's try to mark that out. We can start here and just try to work. Oh, we did get out of it. Yeah, it looks like we did get out of the downtrend. So maybe this is bullish actually. Yeah. Okay, I guess we're doing calls for this. Yeah, I think I like this. So this looks to be the downtrend and it's actually breaking outside of it. Bearish momentum, it says, but that's just early stages, I would say, or late stages of a bearish trend, because yeah, we're about to turn bearish or bullish momentum, right? We're like at this state here, around this state, and then next 2 days, maybe the next week, it goes up a little bit. Similarly here, it was downside, but then it was turning, so we could have a bullish move to the upside. Yeah, I actually like DocuSign to the upside. There was one stock that had balance sheet. It might have been play. It might have been play. I like DocuSign then. We're going to play DocuSign to the upside. Let's look at the expected move. Upcoming earnings. DOCU 16.6%. All right, then. Go 16.6%. 16%. Maybe back up to 54. So an $8 move. Okay, and the thing I want to play this one to the upside is because OKTA, this thing got crushed for earnings last quarter, and what I want to do is basically it did a huge gap up. I basically want to do something similar to that. Like this was a huge move to it, and DocuSign has had a huge move downside, then it move up, but I think we could balance out around 55. Like I think a lot of the stuff has been priced in right now. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think so too. So let's look at some flow, see if we can find anything interesting here. And give me 1 second, I gotta do something. All right, your boy's back. Yeah. All right, so what do we see here? On December 2nd, we didn't really get much money, so let's not use that one. Let's go here. 16% to the upside or the downside. Oh, wow, we're seeing a lot of puts. Okay, 163s for the 46s and 30s. These are bullish. So that's not. And then these are bullish too. Okay, so they're selling premium, it looks like. Looks like they're selling premium for these. Or they could be closing these out. So we have decent open interest and higher volume, so they could be closing some of these out, right? More particularly probably these. Let's take a look at the options chain on it. Take a look at the options chain. We're gonna go to options tab. Oh, whoa, hold up. There's a huge cope spike here at the end. Yeah, big cope spike at the end of the day. Okay, weird. And big gamma move to the upside. Okay, I like this to the upside. Just based off of that. Let's go to the 12/9s, see if we see anything big. There's the $70 calls with a lot of volume for next week. Let's look at these. These are starting to pick up interest too. So 3 days ago, 77, 200, 300. Then we had a big spike in volume here. Okay. Let's look at these. 5,000 came in. Let's size this up really quick. Let's do this by size. Let's do like 50. Okay, here we go. So a lot of calls came in. These are towards the end also. Okay. The spread is 11 to 13. So they're buying them at 13 at the ask. It's not a lot of money actually. It looked like a lot of volume, but relatively it's only like about 10, 15K on it. So these are more like lottos, but still interesting to see there. I don't think 70 is in the picture for DocuSign. It'd be crazy. I would say more realistically like 55. There's nothing there. Let's go to the week after. Alright, so here we go. Now we've got more open interest here. We got open interest on the 60s, 7,000, and then we have big open interest on the 70s. To the downside, do we have anything big? Don't really have anything. There's a big order here on the 30s. All those are the ones that we saw come in as a sell, right? We go back here, those came in as a sell. Those 12/16s, they came in as selling those as a credit spread or for credit. All right, so we want to imply this as bullish because they're selling those, right? They're coming in as selling them. And then these are 50s and 51s. There's 45s and 42s here. We can just filter this or sort this by open interest. So the most open interest on these are the 70s. Let's see when these started being picked up. They've been here for a while actually. So here we go. The September. They paid like $4 for them. They're worth 26 cents. So not interesting at all, honestly. Those are way out there. I mean, if they beat, but I think that wasn't planned. It's what we want to see is big open interest going in recently. So something like this maybe. These came in at 68 cents. They're 90. Okay, so they're up on this position. Yeah, so this is more interesting because we had 6,000. Why does it keep doing this? Okay, we had 6,000. Is that right? No, we had 3,000. They came in 3,000, added 3,000 at about 67 cents. And they are currently worth 94 cents, about 94. So either they're break even or they're up. These are the $60 calls. So these are definitely interesting. The 60s for the 16th. The 60s for the 16th are ones to look at. Yeah. And then we have big volume on these 51s. Let's see what they're doing here. Big volume. So 45 open interest. Then these are bullish. These are bullish. These are bullish for sure. They came in on the ask. The calls came in on the ask. 54 volume and then 5,000 carried over. All right. But these are definitely interesting. These just came in too. Okay. So those are interesting. And then are those? Yeah, they're still out the money. The 40s, because we're at like 46. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing here. Let's go to the open interest, big open interest here. 65s, 45s. So 45, let's see when these started picking up. Where's the big change? So the big change was back in October. They paid $6.46. They're actually down on their position. The next ones were the 35s. I think that's unlikely, honestly, 35. But let's see when these kind of changed from open interest. early October for 246, and they're currently back about down half their position. So they're either down half of their position, or they either sold those. When these came in, they sold them as credit, but they're up 50%. That's if they sold them. So I really like the 50 ones, the ones that are over here. And that's like 1 week out. We can look at this week, the week that's coming up this week. Let's see what the most open interest is. These right here. Those have the most open interest. The 70s, I think, are way out. I mean, these are definitely gambling. They're like 13, 15 cents. That's going to be a huge move. Let's say if it does go back up to 70. DocuSign. If it goes to 70, that would be, let me get this out of the way. Like a 50% move. That's not likely, honestly. It could be leading up into it and then do the 14% move, but that's a 54% move. So I don't know I don't really believe those. Where is that at? Options change. Yeah, I don't believe the 70s. I do like the 51s for the 916, and then let's see if we can find something else here. These are semi-bullish. Let's see when these started getting picked up. So they've got 200 here. They got 500 here. They paid, wow, they paid they paid about 350. So they're actually down on their position here. They're down on this position. Yeah. That sucks. Then the 65s. So I don't want to play the 12 nines because there's not enough time, especially since the earnings is on Thursday. So I'm gonna stick with the 51s. I like these. The change was 5,000. I like the 51s for the 12th, 16th, possibly like maybe the 55s if you want to play a little cheaper. And these, let's see when these started picking up. These have been coming down. 12 came in here, or 2,000 came in here. They paid about 160. They're about break even right now. So this isn't a bad play yet. When people started adding these, they were paying about 126 to 160, and that open interest currently, most of it's still there, and they're about break even right now, or slightly up. So I like those. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with upside for DocuSign. I like this one. I would say you could start taking profits maybe at 53. Actually, we could do that 53, or we could do 50 because we've got resistance here, right? Support here, and then we have resistance here. So this will be a level to watch. I think that. Let's do that. So DocuSign, I would say playing it to the upside. DocuSign is definitely one to watch. All right, what was next on my list? Let's look at that. Oh, we want to talk about GameStop, right? So GameStop, the reason I like GameStop is because it's like consolidated for like a month or 2 months. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. So I think this one could have a big move, right? Big consolidation phase. So what's gonna follow is gonna be a move to release all that pressure, I think. And so you could play this one to the upside, to the downside. I would be leaning to the upside because it looks like it wants to break back out finally. Bearish momentum is possibly maybe changing to bullish. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think so too. All right, let me put that there. That's the resistance, like 27.75. If we can break out of that, then we're probably looking at like, let's just say 30. I would say $30 right there, like maybe 29.50 to be more safe. Oh, they've got the yeah. Okay, where's the okay? Let's see if we find anything unusual with the not Docu, but GameStop. GameStop total premium. Let's look. We've got $27 calls, $28 calls, kind of down the middle. A lot of open interest, a lot of volume, so they might be closing the calls. Where's the volume open interest? There's bearish puts on the 18s for 60. There's only $5,000 there though. Okay, so not interesting. $27 puts and 29.50s, 27.50s down the middle, 28s down the middle. Not really anything. I mean, the most one is this one, but it's down the middle, the 27.50s, and we're kind of trading around that price. I mean, it could just be getting ahead of the move, like getting the 27.50s ahead of the move to the upside. But that's the biggest volume to open interest, and it's got decent money actually. Let's look at these actually. Let's click on this, and let's look at. People started loading up around. Actually, this is the first day that people started loading up on these. Let's look at the full flow breakdown for this. Looks like they're on the bid side. Let's do size like 25. Bearish. They're all bearish. The big ones are, at least. 12,000, 27 spreads, 88. They seem to be selling these, and they're buying puts. So they're selling. What is this? A synthetic short, long straddle, short straddle, synthetic long. I haven't seen those plays. There's not a lot of money though, so that's the only thing I would say. 7,000. We're gonna have to go to the actual options chain. And there's this one thing they changed. They used to show us the volume across the thing, but now it doesn't do it, so I don't like that. These are expired. Let's do next week. See where all the volume is. Right. 3,000. Those are the ones we were talking about. So everything close to the money. There's a lot of volume here on the 30s for 77 cents. Let's see when these started getting picked up. GameStop. They just started picking these up. Okay. Mid-November is when they started picking some of these up. Since then, it's like doubled up, basically. The 30s. What did they pay for them? They paid about $1.50. Now they're worth like about half of that. Nothing on the floor, just sweeps and multi-legs. So maybe just collecting premium or doing credit spreads or debit spreads for the upside. Wow. Downside, it'd be hard to bet against GameStop right now. Let's look at their balance sheet really quick for GameStop. And really quick, just to re-emphasize, let's see. Some of the ones I am bullish on: DraftKings, Chewy, those are pretty confident. Docu. We didn't look at the options on Docu or Chewy, so we might need to go back in there and look. They've got 6 revenue, gross profit. They've got decent cash. Total debt. Let's just look at when the debt's due. That's something we've got to start looking at, when their debt is due, short-term or long-term debt. We can find the current debt. This is due within a year. Okay, so 200 million is due within a year. Wow. What was their cash balance? 900. So they'll still have cash. And then after that, they'll have about 400 in debt. 4P 36. I honestly think GameStop will do good in a recession environment because people are just going to buy cheap entertainment, and that's buying games and stuff instead of going out and doing everything crazy. So yeah, I want to play this to the upside. Yeah, I want to. Big consolidation. And the actually just noticed this, but the MACD's like going above the midpoint. So let's look at the OBV really quick. So I guess you could say some divergence here. We're basically back at the level here, right, on the OBV, but the price hasn't reflected there yet. Well, almost there actually, almost, but the price is like hasn't reflected. So this is good to see. for upside. I'm gonna play GameStop to the upside. GameStop. This is not the one I want to pull. GameStop. Okay, so these are just ideas so far. What do we say this? Calls or breakout? Breakout. Then we want to target 50 for this one. 50. DocuSign. I would say calls. Right. Well, we'll do this at the end of the video. That way I can, yeah. I don't want to get ahead of myself. These are just ideas right now. And then GameStop. Okay. Bullish. Maybe I should have done that actually first. There's one thing I wanted to look at that I skipped. What was that? Chewy chain. The Chewy chain list. Yeah. Oh, we did look at the Chewy chain list, I think. Let me make sure. Oh, yeah, we did look at them. The Chewy chain. So, we got Chewy down and we've got GameStop down. Let me see if we see anything on GameStop. Most of the premium is this worst of the premium. Most of the premium, 27 calls for this week. Big open interest, big volume. So if this carries over, doubles up the open interest, then we're bullish, I think. If it doesn't really move, then I'm thinking more of like a spread. I'm just afraid of spreads because I got assigned some stock already. And it was like a heart attack, honestly. It was very stressful. So I'm really afraid to do spreads now. I don't want to do spreads. I used to like recommend them, but I don't know if it's just Robinhood or trading. Yeah, just Robinhood or just in general, but they like kept assigning me like I've held spreads twice overnight, and both of the times I got assigned stocks. So like luckily you have that long leg that covers your stuff, but it's just stressful when you wake up and it says like down 90,000 or you owe $90,000 or something. Yeah, so I would avoid spreads just in case you get assigned. So what did we say about, I think GameStop is good to the upside. A lot of consolidation. OBB is going up and we haven't really reflected it on the price yet. So I think upside on GameStop. We're going to see how the open interest carries over on these calls, these 28s and the 27s. But the expected move for GameStop, let's take a look at that. That's something I didn't cover. GameStop. 11.8% expected move. We're on the daily. Let's just say we reported 11%, about $30 to the upside, and about $25 to the downside. About $25 to the downside. So we're going to play this one to the upside. We're going to probably get like, if I'm going to get my calls for GameStop, I'd probably get something for 16th because they do report towards the end of the week, well, mid of the week. I guess you could get calls for this 12.9, but I think the 12.16s are much better. And we'll probably be looking at these here, like the $30 calls for 12.16. Let's look at the IV crush really quick too, actually. Let's go here. Market Chameleon. Market Chameleon. All right. GameStop. Let's close that out really quick. GameStop. And then we're going to go to earnings, implied moving, IV crush. IV crush of 15. So that's good. It's not going to crush you too much. What just happened to my internet? Something just happened to my internet. Did we shut down or what? Duplicate stream key, select the new key. What? What just happened? Did we just lose our stream or what? It says my stream went bad. Connecting streaming software to go live. Come on, daddy. Public, we should still be live. Is it still working or what? Let me see if it's working. I'm going to go to Twitter. See if it updates on the backup account. It says we're still live. Yeah, I think we're still working. I think the app's just lagging. Okay. What was I saying? I lost my place, my train of thought. Okay, we got GameStop. So my picks for this week right here. Let's bold this up real quick. How do you bold it? Oh, down here. Bold it up. My picks: DraftKings, Chewy, Docu, GameStop. And we've got a couple more to go. Costco, Lulu, and Academia. So those are definitely interesting ones. Before we do more earnings plays, let's talk about AMD. I noticed this one going into just looking at stocks through my watch list. This one looks really interesting, and maybe I should have started off with this one, but I do like this one to the upside. We basically, let me go to a 1 hour, and we're gonna switch back to the MACD. Basically, it's been consolidating, and it's been like making this ascending triangle. You could say it's a triple top, but it does look like possibly a ascending triangle. So it could be a while before we actually break out. But if this is an ascending triangle, you can basically see what's going on here. So I would expect one more retouch of 79. So $5 move to the upside. Let me clear that out. So that's one. This is a very interesting play. It's just consolidating, nice ascending support here where it's finding support every time it comes down. And then the big break is going to be obviously like $79, $80. But even at this level, we've got really good support. So like we've got consolidation here and we've had consolidation here. So as long as we hold above what, 75, I think we can see $79, $80 one more time. So this is one that I was looking at, and you can also say it's possibly like a cup and handle, right? If you want to look, if you want to go further back, you could say as an ascending triangle here, or a cup and handle with the handle right there, technically. So I like this one a lot, actually. See. Okay, there we go. Thing is back on the board. We're back on the board. So this is one I really like. AMD for next week, just to see if we can bounce off and go back up to the highs of 79, and then eventually maybe end of December we have that December rally or whatever, we could do the final breakout, and then things would get really interesting. We'd go back up to like 85 first target, and then probably 93 second target. I mean, you could do 93 or 91, 92. Yeah. So this is one that I don't have on here, but actually we're going to add it to the list. It's not an earnings play. I'll probably move this one up higher because earning plays are more risky, I would say. They're more risky. So I like DraftKings, AMD. Chewy would be my first earnings play. And Docu, just because I like the upside risk potential, the risk reward for that one. Then GameStop is like, I'm optimistic on it, but at the end of the day, I didn't really see anything like... I love the built up, but it could just be a dud. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got so far. There's a few other ones that were interesting. I think Airbnb was cool. Let's look at Airbnb. All right, Airbnb. What was I noticing on this one? Oh, we've got like a long downtrend on Airbnb. Let's go to like, I guess daily. We have to go to the daily. So big downtrend on this, right? Still technically bearish. Let's mark that up real quick. That's not it. That's not it, Chief. It's like right. I think it's like right there. Yeah. So big downtrend on Airbnb, but it's finding a base here. Like it's finding. I mean, you could say triple bottom. You see, we got 1, 2, 3. So I think somewhere around here is something we retouch, right? So you could do like you could do an inverse cup and handle. So maybe we retouch that and then come back down and then finally break down, because it is overvalued. But I think one more retouch of this level up here, like 105, I would say at least 105, because we have a gap right here, right there. So what is that, 104, 105? I think a retouch of that, so $4, it's like a 4% move to the upside. Maybe I should have done this video, like have my plays ready before just looking at them. But that's what I like about that one. This is technically also like a, what would you say, a head and shoulders right here? And it broke down. Yeah. It broke down and then it finished that pattern, what it looks like. And so now we could be going back up. So yeah, interesting play on Airbnb. Airbnb. I like it. I like it. Let's add that one to the list actually. This one is just something that I saw, right? So we're not gonna, these are my picks for sure, the top 3. Chewy, gonna be patient with it. Do we have anything here from, oh, China stocks. China stocks are big. China, so XPEV. And we talked about this one last time, so I don't really want to cover it actually. Let's go back to Costco and maybe Lulu and maybe Player Academic. I like Costco and Lulu. Lulu, I think, what was I noticing on Lulu? On Lulu man, daily earnings, they beat. Actually, I don't really know what to do with this one, to be honest. It's just not worth playing. It's a $385 stock. Just not worth playing. Expected move for this is what? Lulu, 7.4% on Lulu. Let's see where we're at. 7.7%. So like 415. Yeah, it's just not really worth it. You could get puts on this, but they always beat earnings for some reason. They beat, and they beat there. So maybe taking to the downside is risky, but big rewards. So $30 to the, about almost $25 to the downside, and then $25 to the upside for Lulu. It just seems to be on a constant uptrend. And also, like right here, it opened at 380, closed at 381, came all the way down to 375, and then it closed above higher. So a lot of strength on Lulu. I just don't see the upside, but people want to buy it up, so I don't want to play that one. I do want to play Moderna. This is unrelated, but this is one that crushed me on puts. I was getting puts on it. I think I was getting puts on like going into this, and it just kept going up. So I ended up cutting for a big loss. But I was gonna say, bull flag here, finally breaking back out. So if we can start getting, we can just move this. I mean, consolidate, basically break consolidation, and now it's like going back on its next leg up. So my target is like maybe $200, 197. That's what we're looking at. And so we've got room to go for this one. So I like this one. You could also say it's a cup and handle. We got a lot of cup and handles right now, right? So, I mean, you could do the cup and handle here if you want. Yeah. So right there, maybe forming the cup here. Or the handle, my bad. So I like this one. Also, I mean, it just looks good. Like once it gets above this, once it got above this level, like 175, 180, like it's just like really good support up here. So like right here, right here, right here, and then it came down and got back up underneath it or above it. So Moderna, big win here. I think potential for a big win. So I'm gonna actually add that one. I like that one up here, this level, Moderna. Let's do that. Yep, I like that. Maybe I should have done the video like this way sooner, where we just talk about stocks. We still haven't covered Costco or Academy Sports. Costco would probably be the better play because I did see some big puts come in for this one. We're gonna look those up. Costco 480 puts, I think I saw. Let's see, 495 calls, bearish. So they're taking profits or selling these calls. And then there's 480s. Here they are. 339 for $361. K. That's in thousands. So 361K. And then 495 puts. But these have hella time. That's the thing I like about these. They are worth almost $10, but if they were expecting this to close at 480 plus their premium, then they were looking at 470 for earnings by end of December. So the thing I like about Costco to the downside is we broke out of this trend line but we basically broke out, got some bulls in there, and now we're back underneath it. So I think we'll probably retouch this ascending support before we continue going up again. We're basically back inside this triangle, so that's what I'm looking at. And then cross over here on the MACD. I just don't like it to the upside right now. Yep. So that's my thoughts on this one. And we're gonna do this here. There we go. That makes much more sense, right? On the hourly. Yep. How are we feeling? Mosaic, what do we ever do with this one? This one's still consolidating. Oh my goodness, I just noticed this is getting ready to do a breakout. And I think I did see wheat doing some crazy moves. Yeah, they started gapping down. What did we say about wheat? What is this? What is this? Oh, is this divergence or something? All right, we're gonna get rid of that. Wheat is near the lows. Huge gap down on it. I think wheat might be time to get some wheat calls soon. It's near the old levels. But mosaic, let me look at mosaic. Mustard. Mosaic. Yeah, this one looks nice. What do we do with this? Yeah, this is getting ready to pop. Oh, this is getting ready to pop. It could be to the downside. It could be to... Do they have a dividend? They just paid an X dividend. So people might be selling it now. Ooh. Wow, look at this. This is crazy. Let me see if there's any flows on mosaic. We can get a better idea. There's 52 calls. There's 49 calls. They're all bearish, so it looks like they might just be selling those. And then we got bullish premium on the puts. $51 calls within 31 days. Let's just go to 52. Nothing. Let's do 80 then. Come on, give me something. And there's nothing. Mosaic, do they have earnings coming up? No, they just had earnings. They had earnings from what it looks like. They moved up though. Missed by $469. We are right here. They went up though. This was at close. They closed here and they opened up here and then moved up. Okay. So people liked the earnings regardless if they were bad. They moved up after. Now they're back to earnings levels. And it's consolidating. This thing is going to pop. What would be the expected move? I think the expected move, I mean long term, like looking at, it would be probably like here. Maybe here. Then we could do that here. Oh, I'm just playing around, but maybe like $84 or go down to $16. Where is this trading at? Yeah, maybe $16 more realistic. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna start getting a position in this one. I haven't decided just yet. This is gonna be a big move though. Mosaic, adding this one to the list up here. So I think out of the chart setups, I like these three the most. Chewy is gonna be an earnings play. Moderna, I like the chart setup on this one too, actually. So we're gonna do that. Chewy and Docu Game are all earnings plays. And then Airbnb is just the extra random play. We're gonna separate that one because I don't really. We're just kind of waiting on that one actually. We still haven't done Costco. Let's look at. Oh, we did do Costco. I don't know if I'll play Costco. Costco. It had a huge sell-off, so IV to the downside. The put premiums are like really expensive right now, and so I want to be patient and let it either, you know, stabilize here around 500 for a day or two, and then premium will come down a bit, and then you can get more puts and then continue it down. Especially because it's got like strong support here. So like right here, I think midpoint of the triangle. it's gonna probably hold up, and 490 is probably gonna hold up for a while, for a day at least, I think, in my opinion. So if you are gonna get a position, I would possibly just get a longer dated so you can finally, you know, catch that move to the downside. Yeah. Dang. So I think we've got a good amount of options here to look at for this week. What else should we? Rivian, Stem, Stone, TZA, Volta, WBA. I can't believe Wafer is at 274. It was at 75 last time I looked. It's down to 42. Tesla, we talked about that one last time. Target, let's talk about Target and see what it's at. It's just not doing anything. Target's not doing anything. T-Mobile is like finally recovering. Wow. Consolidating though. It's consolidating here for a long ass time. This one might be interesting. Let's remove that. So it's got the gap up here still to 20, but it just hasn't done anything for a long time. It might be premature, but once it starts breaking out, we could say like 1940, 1950, then we'll start seeing some movement. And then to the downside, I would actually wait to see if it breaks like $18, because we got support here. You could say 1820. I would say 18, but yeah, it's just consolidating right now. Yeah, those are the levels right there right now, actually. Just gotta be patient, and then you can start seeing aggressive moves like this. It's consolidating though. It is bullish though, because technically consolidating, but like on an uptrend for some reason. Like that. So it could be breaking out soon. Maybe mid-December, end of the second half of December could break out. Right. What else we got? We're just gonna run through some of these. Snow. Oof. Maybe I don't know about this one. Maybe downside. It's like it's got a downtrend resistance. It doesn't 150, technically 152. I don't really like it because it had a good earnings, so I wouldn't want to play it to the downside. You know what I'm saying? Run and end phase are crazy. I don't even want to look at those. Qualcomm will probably follow with some of the other semiconductor stock. Let me look at this actually. Yeah, it's getting close to the breakout or rejection. There, I think. A little bit of upside left on this one. Maybe to like 130. I'm just gonna be patient with that one. Polestar, we talked about that one yesterday. And Pinduoduo, yes, Pinduoduo. This is a really good one. China stocks, we were talking about China stocks. This one I saw a huge options come in for Pinduoduo. It's like $1 million. Let's look at this. Where is it at? 3 million. It was these. I saw the 100s for 12.16. We're gonna do 35 days. Yes. We're gonna do 35 days. Volume open interest like 3. So we saw 105 puts and we saw 100 calls. So I definitely see like the $100 range, and I like the chart on this one. It just broke out of this gap fill that we had right here. We had a gap. We filled it up. Our range is basically from 78 up to 93, 95. So, and we're holding this nice support here at 185. So I like this one. And our resistance is right here. This is our resistance. So I think we have some upside to like 93. And then people might take profits. But the range is really like, I would say, in my opinion, like here to here and here to here. So anything in here, it can basically just bounce, I think. So continue here, then bounce, and then continue or something. But this range right here is what we're looking at, or where we're trading at right now. Yep. That's what I see on Pinduoduo, and I think that's it. So let me add my notes here at the end. DraftKings, I like DraftKings because of the pattern breakout. We're gonna do that. AMD pattern breakout too, I think, right? Breakout. Well, what did I say? Range, ascending triangle. Triangle, yeah. And then mosaic, symmetric triangle. Yeah. Triangle. Pennant. Let's do a pennant. Pattern, which could be a breakout soon too. Moderna, bull flag kind of stuff. Bull flag. And then we got Chewy, Chewy $50 range, then puts. I wasn't too sure on that one. DocuSign, we're gonna do just lotto calls because beat up. And then the last one, GameStop. I think this one should do good, so I was gonna say calls based on consolidation. Yeah. So I'll probably run a quick video of a watch list, just breaking these down without having to search for all this stuff through the an hour-long stream. So I'll do that for you guys. If I get time, I'll just run it through, and then we'll be good to go. I hope you guys learned something. We didn't really use the options too much. Earnings are just not really gonna help, or options aren't gonna help with the earnings because they're usually 50-50 unless we see something like very unusual come in. But I didn't see anything come in for them. I think we're set. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.